the shooting victim was being chased, if you're going to show them a video of the shooting victim chasing the shooter?
I would, Vinny. I would do that in an opening statement when I have federal agent Brandon Crammon, who testified yesterday. Obviously, we couldn't hear or watch that video, but apparently it was the federal agent who's going to testify that the feds had some sort of aircraft that actually tracked Rittenhouse and showed that Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum. That's what the prosecutor said in opening statement. That's what that witness, I believe, testified to. But again, the media wasn't able to cover that particular witness yesterday.
Well,
so
let me ask you what we're watching now, though. This is right before the shooting. This is right before the shooting. Neama, isn't this the moment that is more significant than whatever was shown off camera yesterday?
But again, I don't know what that witness testified to. The whole basis of the prosecutor's opening statement was that aerial surveillance. Unfortunately, we don't know what it showed, but it had to have been good enough for the prosecutor to get up during opening statement and make that representation to the jury. Otherwise, you lose a lot of credibility if you do that and you can't deliver. He was ambushed, and that's the point they were trying to make during cross-examination. So the whole following whom, I don't think is where the defense is going here. They're saying he was lying in wait and ambushing him with the plastic bag, apparently.
Yeah, but I'm going by the prosecution has the burden of proof, right? And he told us a story. It was a very compelling story. But then I'm looking at videos. To me, it's not matching up. He told me that Rittenhouse was chasing Rosenbaum. But I'm watching a video, and Rittenhouse is in front of Rosenbaum. So you're no longer chasing him if you're in front of him. Right? I mean, that's common sense.
I mean, there's got to be something in yesterday's testimony that we just didn't see.
All right.
Otherwise, I can't imagine him saying that.
Hopefully it comes out in the closing argument for all of us to understand. He approaches Rittenhouse and is interviewing him, and that video is going to end up in front of this jury as well. They saw a piece of it during the defense opening. The fact that Grosskreutz approaches him first and then approaches him a second time, does that help one side or the other? The fact that before the shooting of Anthony Huber, he's interviewing him on that video.
Well, it's a little bit helpful for the prosecution, but I know the defense loves those two victims more. And obviously, these are people who have lost their lives. But there's a reason that the prosecution is focused on Rosenbaum. That's a much better case, a much weaker self-defense argument. And as we move on to the other victims and Rittenhouse being chased, that's a much better self-defense argument. So that's why the defense is focused on those two individuals and not Rosenbaum. I think what the defense here did is racially motivated. It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. And it's unethical. I'm going to put that out there. I mean, when you strike 90% of the black jurors when the victim is black, I mean, that is Batson. And this is shameful. And at least in, George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, we had half the panel was white, half was people of color. Now we're dealing with this panel that is predominantly more than 90% white. It harkens back to Rodney King and that all-white jury we had in Simi Valley. I hope Kirk is right and we get justice in this case, but I'm very disappointed today in how the judge ruled out there in rural Georgia. It does matter, Vinny, and Kristen is right that the gun was acquired unlawfully through a straw purchase, but it absolutely matters because AR-15s are typically the gun of choice for mass shooters, school shootings, movie theaters. So it makes a difference. People that have strong feelings about rifles, revolvers, shotguns, some of them, they don't like AR-15s. They are used to inflict mass damage. So it does matter, and I like what the prosecutor did there during opening statement.